guys, it's Kara here, and I am here today to go over, as you can tell by the title, disciplining your toddler. I know a lot of you guys have babies, and I know a lot of you guys don't have kids at all, and a lot of you guys are just like me, and you have a toddler right now, and you're trying to figure out, wow, how do I handle this toddler? And I know sometimes you have days where you want to rip your hair out, because I definitely do. Hopefully these tips that we are about to go over will help you. Now, I am not a professional in child behavior or anything like that, but these are just things that have helped me to cope with the changes that Isaiah is going through, and hopefully this will help you guys as well. And like I said, if you don't have kids, you might have brothers, nieces, sisters, cousins, whatever, that are 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years old, and they are going through, you know, that toddler temper tantrum, crazy, I want everything my way stage. So this will help everybody that watches this video. This will help you out quite a lot. So there are 8 steps that I'm going to be touching on today. You guys just get your pencil and your notebook ready. We're going to take notes. We're going to go through this together. So this is going to help me as much as it helps you guys, because I definitely still have days where I want to just rip my hair out and just run away sometimes, but I can't do that. So definitely learning how to discipline my toddler and also deal with my own self as well is going to help me. So I did take notes, and I'm just going to be looking down a lot because I did take a lot of notes. I've been doing a lot of research on this stuff. The first thing that I've learned in disciplining Isaiah is being consistent. You know, consistency is super important when it comes to discipline. And I say consistency because you have to think from a toddler's mind. You know, if one day I hit the kid on the playground and my mommy tells me not to do it, and then the next day I hit the kid on the playground and my mommy doesn't correct me on it, then I'm going to think it's okay. I'm going to be confused. A lot of people seem to think that when it comes to disciplining a toddler, it's physical or it's a punishment, and it doesn't always have to be that. For the most part, you should never discipline. I feel like you should never discipline a child with hitting. Now, there have been times, you know, where when I was a child, I've got spankings and I'm perfectly fine. But, you know, nowadays the kids are different, and, you know, there are just way bigger ways to discipline your child. So that's why I'm saying, number one, be consistent. Don't do something one day with your child and then the next day it's totally fine for them to do it. Always say no. If you don't want your kid throwing food at the table, correct it all the time, not every now and then. If you don't want your kid biting, correct it all the time, not now and then. If you don't want your kid hitting, correct it all the time, not every now and then. Number 2 is avoid areas that make your child stressful and try to keep a routine going. And when I say avoid, like situations that make your child stressed out and to keep a routine going, I'm saying if you guys wake up at 9 a.m. to eat breakfast, he takes a nap at 12, and he eats lunch at 2 and eats dinner by 7, then you need to keep that going, because that's what the child is going to be expecting. So that being consistent and avoiding areas that make your child stressful and try to keep a routine, that all kind of clicks hand in hand. So make sure that you keep the routine going that you have been having set for your child, and try not to change that. Obviously, there's going to be days where you might have to change your schedule a little bit, or there are going to be days where your child can't take a nap at that specific time. But, you know, always just try your best to allow your child to get their naps in, to, you know, have their quiet time, or whatever kind of routine that you have for your child. Number 3 is validate their feelings. And I know that sounds kind of silly because, you know, you're thinking, wow, he's a baby, he's a kid, validate their feelings, and they can't even talk. But, you know, seriously, validate your kids' feelings. When I was growing up and my mom had kids, I always, you know, watch her, and she'd tell my brother, it's okay, it's okay. And she'd tell my little sisters, it's okay, it's okay. And, you know, I would kind of not understand why she was doing that. It did help calm them down, but I was like, okay, what's she doing that for? It's not like they can understand, but they really can understand. And that's a part of validating feelings, and that's what I have learned a lot when it comes to Isaiah. When your child cries, you know, pay attention to them. You know, let them know when you're putting them in the car seat and they're throwing a tantrum like they don't want to get in there. Tell them, you know, I know you don't want to get in the car seat. Of course, still buckle them in because it is for their safety. But let them know at the same time, I know you don't want to get in there, but we have to go to the grocery store, or we have to go blah, 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 blah. You know, let them know and validate their feelings and let them know that you do understand. Of course, this might not always stop them from crying, but it does give them a sense of, wow, mommy and daddy care, or mommy cares, daddy cares, or whatever situation that you guys are in. It will give your child a sense of, okay, I'm not being ignored. At least they're listening to me. Okay, number 4 is give your child a break and praise good behavior. Okay, I'm probably going to get a lot of controversy, I don't know how to say it, but I'm probably going to get a lot of comments back on this one. I am personally a big fan of timeout, because I don't really like to, I don't agree with like hitting and spanking, but I really like to let a child sit and think about what they did. I believe that that helps a lot. And then a lot of people don't agree with it. But what you can do, if you don't agree with timeout, I'm not putting Isaiah in timeouts yet because he doesn't understand. But if you do have a child that understands, you know, timeouts or whatever, definitely think about doing like a quiet corner, a naughty chair, something like that, where they can just go sit down and think about what they did. But definitely give it a nice name, like, okay, Billy, go sit in the naughty chair, or okay, Isaiah, go to your quiet corner. Just give them their time where they can calm down, bring themselves together, because even adults need quiet time sometimes. Sometimes we have to walk off into corners and just into another room and just get a moment to ourselves so we won't freaking lose our minds. Just walk them to their corner or their naughty chair or their timeout, whatever you want to call it, and just let them sit and think about what they've done. You know, I usually say go off of how old they are with how long they sit in that naughty chair or in the corner or whatever. You know, everybody's different. However long you want to keep your child in there is up to you. But definitely give them their space, and, you know, definitely give them their quiet time, and just try to refer to something more positive than calling it a timeout, because it can be kind of confusing to kids that are under 3. Kids that are under 3 are, you know, just learning to communicate, and even kids that are above 3, they're learning how to communicate and everything like that. So, I mean, it's totally up to you what you call it, but definitely at the end of the day, give them their quiet time, because we all need it every now and then. Number 5, this is very cliche. I hate when people tell me this, but stay calm. That is number 5, and that's huge. There have been days, you guys, where I have just lost my mind. When I was about 14 weeks pregnant, I had like not a mental breakdown, but I just had like a breakdown when Isaiah was crying, and I just started crying, and I went up to my room, and I just closed the door, and I was crying as well. I have no idea if that was hormones or not, but definitely stay calm. You don't want to get, you know, too worked up or start screaming at your kids. And, you know, I am guilty of getting aggravated and yelling and everything like that. So that's why I said, you know, I also have things to work on as well, but definitely you want to stay calm, because actually, believe it or not, when you don't stay calm, it actually works your child up more. You know, don't spaz out. Just try to keep it all together. And if you do feel yourself getting worked up, you know, take a moment to yourself in the corner. If your child's screaming, crying, and you say, wow, I am about to lose my mind, take a moment to yourself in the corner, because that is way better than child abuse, than hitting, than any of that. So definitely stay calm and, you know, try to keep your cool. And then number 6 is, if you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, take a break. And that kind of goes hand in hand with number 5, which was stay calm. Definitely it's okay to take a break. You know, that doesn't make you a bad mom. That doesn't make you a bad dad. That doesn't make you a bad person. Sometimes you really just need a break. Everybody needs one. Definitely, if you feel yourself getting stressed out into the point where you are about to lose it, give yourself a break. And then number 7, this is kind of another controversial, another kind of hard one. Sometimes the best tactic is just to ignore. Sometimes you just have to ignore the behavior. You literally have to just act like they're not doing what they're doing. If your child's screaming because they can't have a cookie, or screaming because they can't, you know, get some Jell-O, like Isaiah does a lot, sometimes you just have to ignore the behavior. You can't always give in to your kid screaming. You can't always, you know, show a reaction. You can't always show emotion to it. Sometimes you just have to ignore it, because a kid, a baby, a toddler will feel like, oh wow, if I scream my head off right now, my mom is going to eventually give in and give me that cookie. Or if I scream my head off, then I'm going to get some type of attention. But honestly, sometimes toddlers look for negative attention. Honestly, they do. If they're not getting the attention they want, sometimes they'll just cry for negative attention. And I've witnessed Isaiah do that a lot. You know, so sometimes the best tactic is just to ignore. And I know it's hard, especially when you got a screaming toddler in your ear or a screaming baby in your ear or whatever. But sometimes you just have to ignore it. And eventually, they'll get tired of screaming. They might scream for about 10 minutes, but they will get tired and they will realize, like, my crying isn't getting me anywhere, so maybe I just need to stop. That's another big thing with disciplining that you want to make sure that you do, because it helps a lot. And number 8, finally, knowing that it's okay to feel stressed out by your toddler sometimes. Like I told you earlier, it's perfectly normal for us to be stressed out and to feel like, wow, I can't take this. I need to go sit in the corner. I need a break. The way that you discipline your child the best is when you discipline yourself first. When you have your head right and your mental state is right and you got it all under control with yourself, you're going to discipline your child the best way. If you're all angry and just yelling and screaming and hollering and calling your child names, that's never a good idea, and that's never a good way to get a good response out of anyone, including your toddler. So make sure, you know, that you do take your breaks and you do give yourself, when your child is taking a nap, just take time to woosah, have mommy time, have daddy time. You know, do that. Get a moment to yourself. And, you know, always keep in mind that there are other moms that are going through the same thing that you're going through. I'm going through the same thing that you're going through. You know, I'm always here for you guys to talk to. You know, I'll leave my Kik information down below. I'll leave my email and everything down below. I'll leave all my contact information down below. I definitely love you guys. I want the best for you and your kids, and I'm sure you want the best for me and mine. So definitely think about what I just told you to do. Remember that hitting is never okay. Biting is never okay. Always discipline that so that they can grow and learn that that's never okay. And always keep in mind that these are just one person's views. You know, there's plenty of other research that you can do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps some of you guys. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Come here. Come here. You can't play with the headphones, okay? Those are mommy's and I need them, okay? Okay? It's okay. It's okay, crazy hair. Can you give me a hug? You don't want to right now? Okay, I'm gonna finish what I'm doing and I need to use the headphones, but you can't play with them, okay? Mm-hmm.